Hello, dear souls. Thank you for tuning in to our channel. Please spread the word that Raphael is here to help everyone, and especially you, dear ones, who have been faithfully watching and enjoying Raphael's words. Today, we're going to talk about inner peace because we certainly don't seem to have it in the outer world. And so we want to share with you some techniques that will help you to be quiet and be at peace in a very turbulent world. We have the president now in the hospital with coronavirus, and it's sort of what goes around comes around. He's never really promoted wearing a mask, and now here he is with the virus. And how many other people in the White House we don't even know. So please do pay attention to the scientists. They say this is an airborne disease, and that if you cough or even if you speak to someone within 6 feet of them and you have the virus, you can be giving it to someone else. So we're cautioning you again to please do wear a mask when you go out for your own protection, as well as, I'm going to turn this light down a bit. It's a little too bright. There we go. As well as for the protection of other people, because you be carrying the virus and not even know it. And so let's make sure that you take care of yourselves and then have compassion for your fellow human beings and wear a mask, even if you are perfectly healthy. And so today, let's talk about inner peace. We don't always have peace in our outer world because people conflict about something, especially when it comes to politics. And especially at this time when we have all the competition for winning an election. We have the presidential election, we have the senatorial election, we have the House representatives elections, and in your own district, you have people that are vying for that post. And there's a lot of unrest because they're anxious about being able to get the position they desire. And then we're talking about money. I can't tell you how many times I get an email asking me for $1, $5, not much at all. But if I gave to everybody that asked for it, I'd be in deep trouble financially. And so as a senior who really isn't making that much money, I have to decline a lot of people that I would love to give a whole bunch of money to and can't. Instead, I go to my secret place within me that is called the kingdom of heaven within you. I go to that place, and when I'm there, I picture the people that I want to see elected. I see them going, yes, right on. Oh, I'm so excited. I picture them being so excited that the energy is raised up around them, and they are exuding such joy and peace and harmony because they have won the election. No matter if they're Democratic or Republican, these are the ways that you help them to win without having to get into your pocketbook. It is a known fact that thoughts are things. That when you send a thought out, if it is a happy thought, if it is an actually joyous thought, you are raising the consciousness of everybody around you. And what does that mean, raising consciousness? It means that you have less fear and anxiety and more joy and peace and harmony in your life. Because only when you are in the negative energies do you experience that anxiety, that tension in the shoulders, where a lot of people carry their anxieties, or in your solar plexus, in your gut, or even in your back, because sometimes that gut gets so tensed up that it can create problems with the back. And so think about relaxing the body before you do any kind of visualization. And really, people, that is the key word, visualization. When you can imagine whatever it is you desire, when you can imagine the end results. For example, when it comes time for the election to be over and done with, and you can see yourself toasting a glass of champagne or fruit juice and being so happy that your candidate won. If you can visualize that and have the joy within you to add to it, you will create it. And in the meantime, inner peace means do not allow the negative energy to enter anywhere in your body, in your gut, in your back. Do not allow it. The minute you're aware of it, you take a slow, deep breath that goes way down to your gut, and then you exhale slowly and tighten up your gut. And you do more deep breaths like that, and before you know it, you will have entered the inner peace area. And that's where the kingdom of heaven is, right within you. You have the ability to have that total inner peace by letting go of all of your fears and anxieties and totally trusting in God that all things manifest for your highest good. And so it depends on what you're going to look at and allow the energies that are on the television. All of that is energy coming through the TV and affecting you. I know I could not watch the debates between President Trump and Joe Biden. I watched it for maybe 5 or 10 minutes at the most. And when I saw how Trump was trying to monopolize by overshouting, by interrupting, by never allowing Biden to even talk, and when Biden said, "Will you shut up, man?" Frankly, I applauded him because somebody had to stop him. Certainly, our moderator wasn't able to do it, even though he tried his best. And so you have to create your own area of peace. And that's the secret. If you're going to listen to all the talking heads and all of the negativity and all the fear and anxiety about, is this person going to win? Is this person going to win? If you enter into that, then you're going to have a ragged energy body and it's not going to be healthy. But when you can draw in a deep breath and imagine that angels are all around you, and imagine that they're actually levitating you, and the joy that you feel is so profound that you can't help but want to clap your hands and just laugh for joy. That's inner peace. And when you have that, you are a powerful co-creator with God. You are built that way. That's what God created you to be, to come to a planet and learn to listen to the divine wisdom and follow the inspiration for what you need to do in each moment of your life. Everybody has a divine plan that is different. Nobody has the same thing that they have to do. And so if you're there and you would like to say something, please don't hesitate. Here we go. I didn't turn it on. I hope you've been able to hear me all this time, but now I'm turning up my sound. I hope you've been able to hear me because I forgot to turn it up. But anyway, if not, today we are talking about inner peace. And that is how your thoughts rule you, or you rule your thoughts. Which way is it? Are you in charge of your life, or are your fears and anxieties in charge of your life? Are you driven by a sense of inner peace and joy and happiness that makes you enthusiastic about getting up in the morning and getting to work on whatever project you have been inspired to do? And if you don't have a job right now and you're stuck at home, it's a great time to do some cleaning of your house, some reorganizing, some cleaning out your file cabinets, because when you have clutter gone, you will be amazed at how your energy will feel greater. You'll have more energy. You'll feel so good. But if, like me, my office was a mess and I couldn't stand being in my own office. I had papers piled up on my desk over there. And finally, I got around to filing them all. And now, wow, what a difference it makes. I can assure you, when you clean up the clutter, when you put things away, when you clean your house, when you even sage it, if you've had a lot of depression or you've had a lot of anger or you've had a lot of negative energy that's floating around your house, get some sea salt, bless it, just make the sign of the cross over it, or just say a prayer over it, whatever is your way of blessing it. And then take that sea salt and go into each room and just take a few grains of salt and sprinkle it in every corner of the room. Just a few grains of that salt and say, angels, stand by here and keep the energy raised. You will be amazed at the difference it will make, truly. Give it a try. Now, I happen to use the Native American way by using sage, by burning sage and letting the smoke come out. And that sacred smoke goes around the room, and that helps to cleanse it of any negative energy. Now, energy is invisible, and yet you are made up of molecules of energy. You are actually an electrical being, and that meridians in your body are, which are invisible, but they're the wiring that sends the divine energy throughout every part of your body to keep it cleansed, to keep it healthy. And so I can attest to this. I'm 86 years old and I am in wonderful health. I have made the unfortunate time back in February of lifting a box of books and herniating a disc. I'm still suffering from that, but I'm so much better. And I am learning, I'm getting physical therapy, and I'm learning how to move my body and tuck in my tummy because that helps my back. So you will find solutions to your problems when you open your mind and heart and soul to God's wisdom. It's there within you. It really, truly is. And angels really, truly are around you, but they cannot interfere with your life. So you have to ask them for help. You have to ask them to help you in understanding what your role is in this life. Now, most of the people that read my books and watch this video are what's called light workers. That means that you have come to earth to bring light and to diffuse the darkness, because there is at this time a great war between the dark and the light. And by having light workers like you who bring forth joy and peace and harmony within themselves and then radiate it out to the planet and to all of the people in your family and all around you, holding that joy within your heart. Because if you have any doubt, if you have any anxiety that this isn't going to work, it isn't going to work. And so, from someone who has been doing this for a very, very long time, I ask you to trust that the words that Raphael gives to me, I'm giving to you. You are a being of light, and your purpose is to be in the planet at this time of darkness, to bring out your inner peace and share it with the world. And how do you do that? By visualizing the world in peace. Now, one time in a meditation, Raphael guided me down a path, and he kept saying, "You are too heavy laden." And I kept saying, "What? I'm not even carrying a purse." And he kept saying, "You are too heavily laden." Finally, I began looking at what it was that I worry about. And then little by little, I began to drop those worries like heavy stones on the dirt road that we were traveling. And I would ask each time as I thought of something, am I not so heavily laden now? And it was Jesus that was walking with me, and he said, "You are still very heavily laden." Well, there were a lot of people that I was worried about. And at the time, I was in a non-functional marriage, and it was just hurting me to see all the discord and disharmony that was hurting my family. And so it was very hard to dump that on the road like a heavy stone. But then eventually we turned this corner, and there in front of me was this crystal bubble of light that was a spaceship. I was like, wow. It was like a bubble top kind of lifted up, and a set of stairs that were also made of crystal dropped down. And I looked at Jesus and I said, "What am I supposed to do?" And he said, "Get up into the spaceship." So I climbed up into it, and it was a very comfortable seat. And in front of me was all these panels of gadgets and like a TV screen. And I said, "But I don't know how to operate this thing." And Jesus said, "You will know how." And he closed the lid down on me, and I'm in this spaceship and saying, but aren't you coming with me? I mean, I have to do this by myself. And he just smiled and nodded and waved at me. And the spaceship lifted up and it began moving. And I heard the instructions that here was a button that was like the bombers of old. It would open up on the bottom and the bombs would fall out. Only this time, when it opened up, it was a great big spotlight. And it was a spotlight of divine love and peace. I was in awe. All I had to do was go to wherever I thought. And I immediately went to Washington, D.C., and hovered over the Capitol, and then turned on the light and let the light shine down on them. Then I went to the to where the Senate is and the House of Representatives, and I beamed the light down on them. Now, this was a long time ago, so I'm being reminded to do this again because there's no time factor when you're doing something like this. And so I'm encouraging you to imagine yourself in your own individual crystal-powered spaceship, and you have all of the gadgets necessary and lacking inner peace. Excuse me. And so imagine is the whole thing. When you have a vivid imagination, you have more power to create what you desire. If you have doubt and fear and anxiety, you're canceling out any beautiful ideas that God gives you, like this spaceship journey. So take a sense of a little child. Imagine that you have this spaceship and it is just hovering nearby, and anytime you need it, it's there for you. And you can go and get in that little spaceship. And like me, if I want to encourage somebody to keep on keeping on, it could be a friend or it could be a politician. I get in my little spaceship and I go and I pour that light on them. And they get lifted up and they have a sense of inner peace and joy. And then they're inspired to do what they need to do to make their dreams come true. You can do this for yourself as well. Excuse me, I'm going to have to. There we go. So use your imagination. That's a key thing. And I keep telling you this. And then he said the kingdom of heaven was right within you, right in your solar plexus. And that's down here, right here in your tummy. And I'm showing you that because most people, when they breathe, they go, and they choke themselves practically. But the breath has to go down like filling up a balloon. It has to go all the way down to your gut there. And so begin doing this better kind of breathing. It will help to cleanse your body, and it will help to relax your mind, and it will help you to meditate better. So learn to relax your body and then to breathe deeply, and you will find that you can visualize better. And when you can visualize, you will be given these visions from your angels and guides to help you to know how to solve your problems or how to bring peace upon the earth. So it first begins with you. You need to get rid of all that heavily laden burdens that Jesus told me. Let go of this, let go of that. And the main thing, the names of it are worry and anxiety. When you find that you have worry and anxiety, you're not in the crystal space ship, because you're grounded. You are grounded and you're too heavily laden. You can't get off the ground. And so use that image to help you to gain inner peace and to gain the power of being a co-creator with God. Put your light on this planet and it will begin to heal itself, because people will find the ways to heal the planet and to guard against the pollution and all of that. People will be inspired to insist upon polluters being stopped from destroying the planet. And that's what's in our future, for we do indeed see there is a greater peaceful future for you. And again, Raphael has said that it looks very much like Biden will win. And with Biden and Harris together, they will find a way of healing the planet so that it won't be destroyed. We've got to live on this planet for many generations to come. And if we continue as we are, it's going to destroy itself. This is one of the reasons why these wildfires fires in California are so spreading so terribly is because the planet itself is too hot and it ignites itself. It just keeps spreading. So imagine, here again, playfully, imagine that it snows or at least that it rains. See it a downpour and keep visualizing that, but you have to do it with joy in your heart. And that's sometimes hard to do when you're a pessimist. If you're a pessimist and you go, oh, this is just a bunch of nonsense, then you have aborted your ability to be a co-creator with God. If you can just believe that you are as powerful as I know you are, you will begin to sit down in a quiet space every day and visualize the earth glowing with lovely, forceful energy that will help to heal it. That those people who are raping the earth for their own political and monetary gain, they will be put in jail, or imagine that they will just disappear. However you want to imagine it, but know that it has to be stopped, this raping of the planet, and that's what it is. The fracking that's being done by the oil and gas companies is polluting the earth. The water they push into the shale comes back out poisonous, and it pollutes the land, and no crops can grow there. They have not, they know this, and they have done nothing to try and prevent it. They just keep on going. And they can get the political side to side with them. And so people that are trying to keep them off their land, like the Native Americans, they've tried to keep them off their land, and they keep getting problems in being able to guard their own land. And even they've talked about taking land away from people so that you can put up a wall. I mean, that is kind of passe now. I think it's kind of given up. But these people are doing it for their own gain. And you need to be able to discern the difference. That means not to judge, but to be able to see the facts and know which is truth and which is not. Now, please understand, a lot of lies are out there, a lot of misinformation. And so listen to your own divine guidance when you hear things like, oh, there's nothing wrong with the way the oil and gas company are doing this. They take care of it, they clean it up. Well, they don't. And that's a fact. And so Raphael is saying to each of you, dear ones, here is a vision of a little spaceship that is just built for you. And it's crystal powered and it's pure glass. So wherever you are, you can look down and see the earth, and you can see where it needs your light. And you can go anywhere in it. You can go to your friends and loved ones, somebody who is ill, and you can put that beam of healing light on them. And that imagination alone can give you what's called remote viewing. There are people like Whimsy who does remote viewing, and she's very accurate. You can learn to do that too by just getting in your little crystal spaceship and going there and truly believing that you will be shown what is going on. The truth will be made known to you. And so, dear ones, I won't chat on and on about it, but do subscribe to our channel and do encourage others to tune in and to subscribe so that we can continue doing this work. We are not asking for any money. We are only asking that you take these ideas and you use them as a powerful being of divine light. You are being called upon by Raphael to be part of his green berets. You're an army of light workers, and Raphael is there, and so are all of the archangels upon them. And they will tell you that all is well, be at peace. And so that inner peace will flood over you, and you will know what it feels like. And so until next time, take care of yourselves, dear ones. Please wear a mask. If you go outside, even if nobody else is wearing them, you wear one, and you will stay safe. And until next time, bye for now.